Okay, so my name is Joanna, and I'm just going to walk through this question with you. So as we can see right here, it's for August 2017, and it is their first month of operations, which will come in handy to know later. So the first thing that we're going to do, and I've already filled all this out, but I'll walk you through it, is fill out an income statement. So the income statement always starts for the end of the month or the year or the period that we're talking about. So for us, it's the month of August, so we're going to put August 31st, 2017. Income statements always start with revenues. So we'll click this and we'll go down to revenues, and then we'll come up here and look at this little chart they have. And it listed the only revenues right here is a service revenue. So we'll go down here and we'll click service revenue, and then we'll put 10,200. Next is expenses, so we'll click expenses in this tab, and they had 3 expenses, as we can see up here. This is the expenses column right here. So we'll go down and we'll list rent expense, which is $730, salary and wages expense, which is $2,300, and utilities expense, which is $330, which I've already put in there. And then we'll put total expenses, and that comes to $3,360. And then if you take 10,200 and subtract 3,360, you will get the net income, which is 6,840. So then, from there, we will do a retained earnings statement. So, as we said earlier, this is their first month of being open. So, for the month of August 31st, which is this one, we'll put the retained earnings that they took from last month, which they didn't have a last month, so it's $0. And then we'll add their net income and loss, which we got up here. It's this number, 6840. And we'll put that over here, 6840. We'll add these two together, and since this is 0, it's just 6840. And then we subtract the dividends that they paid, which we can also find up here in this little chart. They have dividends listed, and it's $2,000. So we'll come down here and we'll put dividends in right here, and then we'll subtract 6840. We'll subtract 2,000 from 6840, and that will give us 4840, and that will be the retained earnings as of August 31st. Then the next thing we'll fill out is a balance sheet. So the balance sheet, as it says right here, classified August 31st, that is just the date. So just put that date in. It's the date you prepared it. So balance sheets always start with current assets. So you'll always put current assets up here. And then you list them, and this is also in the chart right here. So you have assets. You're going to list cash. So the easiest way for me to do that was to take this number, was to add up each column. So the cash column, right here, I took 20,200, I subtracted this number, this number, this number, and this number, and this number, and this number. And then I added in the 4,000 and the 350, which came out to be 15,440. Then we'll put in accounts receivable, which you do the same thing for that. You take 6,200 and you subtract 350, which comes to 5,850. And then you have supplies, which is also up here, and it's just one number. It's 940. So we'll take that and we'll add it to this little balance sheet right here, 940. And then we'll total all of these, total current assets, which comes to 22,230. Also under assets, we'll list equipment, which they have a column for equipment right here too. So this is the number we'll use, 4,990. And then we add up these two numbers for total assets, and that's 27,220. And then the next thing we always do in a balance sheet is liabilities and stockholder equity. So first you'll list your current liabilities, which is going to be accounts payable, and that is also a column up here. So it's right here, liabilities, and then accounts payable. So you will add up these numbers right here, add up this column, which starts with 3,750 minus 1,900 plus 330. And that will come to this number right here, which is 2,180. Then you'll do the stockholders' equity. And that is always going to be common stock first, which conveniently is a column. So you just look at this column, common stock, the only number is 20,200. So you'll list this number right here, 20,200. And then also you'll do retained earnings. So we already calculated that in section B. And your retained earnings number is 4,840. So you'll list that right here, 4,840. And again, to get the retained earnings, you'll do your net income plus your prior month or year or period's retained income, and you'll subtract the dividends, and there's your retained earnings. So you plug that number in, and then you'll add these two up for total stockholder equity, which is $25,040. And then, in order to get total liabilities and stockholder equity, we will add 2,180 to 25,040, and we get 27,220. So, if we did this right as well, our total assets should equal our total liabilities and stockholder equity. So another really nice thing about this assignment is that this, I'm just going to close these, that this little chart here lays it all out for us really nicely. So it shows that assets equal liabilities plus stockholders' equity. So down here on our balance sheet, we can know if we did it correctly if these two numbers are assets plus our liabilities and stockholders' equity come to the same number. This essentially gives us our formula. And then also we know that our assets is our cash with these numbers, plus our accounts receivable, these numbers, plus our supplies, this number, plus our equipment. And then our liabilities are all of our accounts payable, and our our stockholders' equity is common stock plus retained earnings. And you can calculate retained earnings by using revenues minus expenses minus dividends. So this is really nice because it gives you all of the formulas in order to fill out your forms. And as you can see, we did fill this out correctly, and it also labels what each thing is over here for you. Alright, so hopefully that was helpful and you guys were able to figure it out. Thanks.